Hello, and welcome back to Idiots Gaming and episode 15 here on our Vane playthrough. I want to go back to the prison and I want to show off something that I found. Because I think people need to know about it. I know I've already been to the prison, I've already done a lot of looting there, and people are probably a little tired of seeing the prison. But there's an item there that gives really good resources that we need to cover. Think of it as my journalistic integrity, even though I'm not a journalist. Ooh, what's with the little icon there? Huh. Never noticed that. Don't know if it's been there or not. I've never noticed it. Yeah, we're gonna go to the prison. So we'll be back when we get there. This should only, through the magic of editing, this will only take a second. So okay. See, that was painless, wasn't it? Teleportation can be fun. We're back here at the prison because the prison is just one of those places. It's too good. There's too much stuff here. There's too much loot. I don't really know if it needs to be nerfed as far as the amount of loot and resources and all that, or if like security needs to be beefed up. Give us more zombos here. Make it more of a challenge to loot. I don't know. What do you think? Beep boop that down there in the comments and we can have a discussion. I'll try not to trigger the car alarm on this police car. And I always go to the cafeteria just because, I mean, first and foremost, one of the things I'm looking for, there's a lot right next to the cafeteria. And it's a spot that I know how to get to. It's a good, starting spot. And this turn's always a bit on the sharp side. But I made it. I squeezed on through there. Might have had to multi-point that turn, but it's a big truck. But what we're here for, you want to make sure that you have a hydraulic driver on you. Hydraulic cutters come in handy, but you need to at least have a hydraulic driver on. Or on you. Not just on, but on you. Having a good melee weapon, or a good weapon in general, comes in handy. Speaking of handy, I took that one's hand off. Hey! You're not so handy anymore, are you? Hi. You're pretty dead for a fly guy. I think I screwed that one up. But we are here because, yes, I already looted a lot of the prison, but I didn't loot everything because I had spent hours here. And I didn't want to continue spending time here. I wanted to work on other parts of the video. But during my stream, which I stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Vane. If you're enjoying the Vane videos and you'd like to see them uncut, unedited, uncensored, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do all kinds of stupid stuff. But these are what we're here for. Prison tables. These metal prison tables. Why we're here for them. Reinforced metal brackets. Scrap metal sheets. Scrap metal pipes. Heavy bolts. All these really good items that you normally have to make. And that's a legit metal pipe, not a scrap one. But there's a lot of these prison tables in here. And they're steel scrap. There's a lot of these in here, and they all give amazing loot. So we're going to scrap them all. Think of it like Pokemon. Except instead of gotta catch them all, it's gotta scrap them all. And gotta make sure the zombos are feeling loved. And by loved, I mean smacked in the head with my sword. And these food trays, they're quite plentiful here. They're all plastic scrap. Which for like the plastic casings, you need plastic ingots. And you make... Hey, will you be quiet? I'm trying to talk here. Why are you so noisy? Quiet. You have no mouth, therefore you cannot scream. You have no head, but mouth is a part of the head, right? And I don't know if they beefed up the Zombo spawns or what, but I'm encountering a lot more in here than I did last time I was here. And yeah, it's been a couple real life weeks since I was here because I had things happen and I took a little bit of time off. But like I was talking about in my last video, you know, when that passion gets a little on the low side, a little bit of time off's not a bad thing. Sometimes you just need to take a break, take a step back, and recharge your batteries. Down! No touchy. That's my no square. No touchy. But I know of at least 5 areas in the prison to get those tables. And we're going to scrap this floating food tray because it's a magic floating food tray. Just in that small area, 55 aluminum scrap, 63 heavy bolts, 128 iron scrap, 4 actual metal pipes, 2 actual metal sheets, 16 plastic scrap, 111 reinforced metal brackets, 9 scrap metal pipes, 9 scrap metal sheets, 3 small metal sheets, 8 small scrap metal sheets, and 45 steel. That's a bit on the redonkulous side. But I will quickly show you the areas that I know of that you can get those in. And then I will scrap the crap out of all of them. And then we will come back and do a tally. Okay. So we're here at the prison. I got here at like 2 a.m. It was a little dark. So, here at the cafeteria. I already kind of showed you the tables there in the main area. And I need to grab some food. And I know there's a bunch of food in here. Maybe there's something that can just be straight eaten, like ice cream. Ooh, ice cream. I like ice cream. Yeah, a whole bunch of ice cream. We're just gonna pick out an ice cream. Alright. We're not as hungry. I don't think I have any actual consumables on me. No. Yeah, I'm not eating a dead rat. I might do some stupid stuff, but I'm not eating the rotten dead rat. Okay. Now we're all quenched, and I showed you here. Let's go run over to A block real quick. Like I said, there's a lot more zombos here. Yeah, A block. There's these little groups. And there's a row down the center, and there's another group on the far end. We'll run over to C block. Like I said, A block and C block are identical, as far as the tables are concerned. Yeah. And we're going to go to B block real quick because I want to go from C block to D block. So go from A to B. And B stinks, so if there is any negative repercussions to the vomit-inducing smell, make sure to take them. But there's groups here. Another thing you can do here in B block. These chairs, which for some reason sometimes come up as cell bunk, even though that's the bunk. I don't know. But if you destroy these, they're very similar to the tables. And they're in every single cell, and this thing is 3 stories tall. So there's a crap ton of them here. If you need reinforced metal brackets, scrap metal pipes, scrap metal sheets, or heavy bolts, come to the prison, destroy everything, and you probably won't need any more. But yeah, here's T block. Here's Charlie block. And like I said, 3 tables there, 3 tables there, row of tables down the center. And smacky smack. And on the back side, there's 3 tables and 3 tables. You come back here to this double door, and you run through it. And I'm doing this everything at a run because I'm trying to do this kind of quickly. And here is D block. There's not many tables back here, but I didn't really know that D block was a thing. But obviously, there's D block. Big bold letters. And in their cells, you can also tear apart these steel tables and the cell toilets. All of this stuff gives you steel scrap. I'm only here for the tables, so we're only going to deconstruct, or destroy all the tables. I will not destroy anything else other than what you've already seen. It'll just be tables. That way you get kind of an idea of how much loot you can get from just coming and getting the tables. Not including if you want to spend the hours going through each and every cell to deconstruct the cots, the toilets, the chairs, the tables, all that stuff. I'm just going to do the tables. There's not a whole lot of them, but there's more than enough of them to make this worth it. And you can come up at the right angle, and you can still see your surroundings. That way you can defend yourself. In case one of these guys happens to be a runner instead of just a shambler. Or walker, whatever you call them. The slow zombies. Or slow zombos versus the fast zombos. Down! This isn't that kind of job. You don't need to get up on the table. It is fun when they spawn on the upper levels, like this one up there. And they climb up on the railing, and they drop. That one, I think that one actually died on impact. So that's kind of a nice bit of physics. Because I think we're all used to a lot of games where unless you do the damage to them, or the damage is directly from you, enemies don't die. And another thing to point out, these concrete tables, they also give you aluminum scrap, heavy bolts, iron scrap, raw limestone. I think you can also get steel scrap and all the same stuff from the other tables. Yeah, there's steel scrap. We'll go ahead and just deconstruct these real quick. There's a fair amount of these scattered around the outside. Just bear in mind, limestone is really heavy. You can also tear down the weight benches. You can tear down the pull-up racks. Even though to me that doesn't really look like a pull-up bar. That looks more like a squat bar. But I think it's the kind you like position yourself like this, put your hands up on the upper things, and you lift yourself up. But one of the great things about the prison is there's a lot of these farm crops, or plots, not crops. You can put crops in the farm plots, but they don't have crops in them. Not all of them have crops already in them. But I'm just going to go ahead and deconstruct all the tables I've already shown you, and we'll be back in a few minutes. For you, I'm going to teleport you into the future. Don't worry, it'll be painless, I promise. Okay, I think I got all the tables inside the prison. But another thing I wanted to show off was these solitary wings. I think there's 2 or 3 in the prison. And the doors are also steel scrap. And like normal, cell toilets, reinforced metal brackets, steel scrap, rubber, springs. And these are your best friend. They are all over the place. And you get great stuff out of them. So, tear them down. Devs wouldn't put them in the game if they didn't want you to destroy them. But, like I said, I think I've gotten all the tables. We'll do a quick once-over just to make sure. I'll do a little hacky-slashy. But yeah, here's A block. It's cleared. I've already cleared a lot of the offices and stuff in my first run through here because the offices are really good for lockpicks. Filing cabinets and desk have a very high chance of dropping lockpicks. And here's the cafeteria. As you see, it's all cleared out. I'd really like to get into that room, but it's an armory, so it's got a very tough lock on it. I haven't hit level 75 in lockpicking yet. So I can't get in there. And here's B block. As you see, it's all been cleared out. I got all the tables. And I start at the very far end and just work my way all the way back over towards A block. I got C block, I got D block. We got them all. I'm not going to tear down anything else, but you can also the strong doors also give you aluminum, steel, iron, and a bunch of other good loot. So basically what I'm getting at is come here and just deconstruct everything. If it ain't nailed down, bring it home. If you've got the hours to spend to do it, because it's going to take you a while. And I mean real life hours. I don't mean in-game hours. In-game, you're talking days. But just off of the little bit of stuff that I deconstructed, and there was a little bit still in my truck, but the heavy bolts, that's all from here. Iron scrap, most of that's from here. Metal pipes, those are definitely from here. Metal sheets, I didn't get that many of those, but what you get is random. But you will get from this loot pool, whether you get everything out of the pool or how many items out of the pool you get. And just look how many reinforced metal brackets I have. That's ridiculous. Remember, those are kind of a pain to craft. Why craft them if you just come here and salvage them? Scrap metal sheets, small metal sheets, scrap metal pipes, small scrap metal sheets, steel scrap. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But let's take this home, and this will be probably a pretty short episode, because I don't see a point in doing an hour-long episode just to show you, hey, come to the prison. Here's how you get reinforced metal brackets. Here's how you get steel scrap. Here's how you get this and that. I'll just do these little short videos to show you where to get stuff, or how to get stuff, how to craft things. Educational. And if you're looking for limestone, an easy place to always find limestone is to look in these yellow dumpsters. That's 14 raw limestone, that's 21 raw limestone, that's another 11. And sometimes you can get heavy bolts in those, but they almost always have limestone in them. So if you need to make limestone bricks, or you need to make limestone powder, or concrete paste, and you need limestone, check the yellow dumpsters. Not the green ones. Green ones generally have like trash on them and rotten food. But the yellow ones, Those are like your construction dumpsters. And I'm kind of looking at it as it's concrete. Because if you've ever done construction or deconstruction or demolition or anything like that, you always end up with a whole lot of freaking concrete when you tear up a slab, a foundation, parking lot, driveway, any of that stuff. And there's not a lot you can do with it, so it goes into dumpsters. Here's another yellow dumpster. There's a 44 raw limestone. That was a really, really good dumpster. Just bear in mind, limestone's really heavy. There's 3 more. Let's get the limestone. You stay over there, buddy. I don't need your help. I can do this. I'm strong. I got a strong back and strong arms. Yeah, that's 138 raw limestone. It's about 200 pounds of raw limestone. But we're going to go home and we'll go back over the tally. Okay, we're back home. I want to go over a couple things before we end off the episode. We got a runner. That one was really, really excited to see me. It's like, you're home, I want to bite your head. I tried to get in, but the stupid fence gate thing wouldn't let me in. Just to be safe. Okay, and I know the reinforced metal brackets here are from the rest of the stuff I had. Alright, so just to go through, we got a bunch of aluminum scrap, a whole bunch of heavy bolts, iron scrap, limestone powder, and raw limestone out of those yellow bins, and out of those concrete tables. Metal pipes, sheet metal pipes. I think we already went over most of this, but just kind of give you an idea of what all I pulled out of there. Just tearing down those tables. Though I will say again, remember to bring a hydraulic driver, not industrial. It has to be hydraulic. But I showed you in the last time we went to the prison where the tool room is, the workshop, where all those tool chests are. You have a very, very high chance of getting a hydraulic driver there. And one thing I want to cover in next episode. We talked about the makeshift freezer last time. There is a in-game freezer that you can get, you can move, and you can bring home to serve as a freezer before you make the makeshift. If your skills aren't high enough, because the makeshift freezer requires, it's in utilities, requires 70 construction, 25 electrical, and 50 mechanical. If you don't have those skills and you can't get the materials, but I just showed you how to get the small scrap metal sheets and the scrap metal sheets. Go to the prison, tear down the tables, tear down the toilets, tear down the bunks, tear down the doors. Basically, if it looks like it's made out of metal, tear it down. You'll get most of that stuff. Fridge compressors, you get out of deconstructing refrigerators. Components, as far as I know, you have to craft. Same with capacitors. I don't know if you can get these any other way. If you can, let me know, and we'll cover it. Just right now, those two things I believe that you need to make. But we went over how to make those in the last episode. But there is an in-game freezer, and I'm going to go get one in the next episode, and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. And we're also going to compare the in-game fridge, the makeshift fridge, and we'll get a cooler from one of the gas stations. I know by now we probably... That's still crafting charcoal? Wow. I'm gonna grab the 41 here because that's 7. All right, there we go. I do have my firefighter gloves on. That's why I was able to do that and not get hurt. So remember to have your gloves on before you grab the really hot stuff out of the forge or the kiln or whatever. If it's hot, wear the firefighter gloves. They're easy to get. Find a firefighter. Find the firefighting station, which we can go to. But that's going to cover it for today. I just wanted to kind of go over what those prison tables give and some of the higher tier loot you can get out of the prison that I did not show in the original video because I didn't think about tearing them down. If you enjoyed the content, remember to smack that like button. If you're new here, smack the subscribe button. It's free for you, helps me out a great deal, lets me know I'm doing a good job, lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job, and that they should promote me to more people. Until next time, I've been an idiot, obviously.